I was living on sort of a lifestyle where I kept getting invited to really great places. I got a lot of great job opportunities, and I would create opportunities where when I would go out with my friends, there would be 20, 30, 40 beautiful women with us. And for me, it seemed normal. And then what I did was I tried to figure out a way, how can I teach this to other people? So I created, after the last 25 years of, being a U.S. military officer, me working I used to work at a fund. I was a portfolio manager at a fund, all the different things that I learned, put it into one course with 25 years of knowledge called Men of Action course. It's the most comprehensive male self-improvement course ever created. If you have any issues when it comes to networking, communication, leaderships, or dating, then that's essentially what we teach. So I just noticed in this space, there were a lot of people who were not very many people teaching leadership like Jocko Willink was, but he wasn't teaching leadership in regards to dating. And a lot of people who were teaching like e-commerce, but they were not including leadership or communication. And a lot of people who were teaching like, affirmations, stuff like that, but they weren't teaching communication. They certainly weren't teaching dating. And so I made one comprehensive course that fit into all of those categories. And right now we've had 2,200 guys go through the course. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of testimonials from how good the course has been. It's just been absolutely labor of love for me. I do, somewhere between 11 and 19 hours of content per week for my clients, including one-on-one calls. I just got off a one-on-one call right before I jumped on here. And that's essentially what we've been doing since 2019. Now it's 2024. We're coming up on 5 years. We've been doing Men of Action. It'll be this December. And we've been able to quadruple the size of the company every year since then. So it's been a really, really fantastic journey for me. I also host the Michael Sartain podcast, which I joke with people is just super offensive podcast that I host that gets me in a lot of trouble. The podcast is basically on the concept of evolutionary psychology, which is the belief that the forces and functions of natural selection, Darwin's natural selection, not only cause us to get opposable thumbs and the ability to throw objects overhand and walk upright, but it also gave us bigger brains. It doesn't just affect the neck down, that evolutionary psychology or evolution affected the brain as well. We knew this through entomology. Like, for instance, when a deer is born, it immediately knows how to walk. So we know creatures are born not as blank slates. They actually have certain proclivities that are baked in. We see children, for instance, infants stare at the faces of more attractive people for longer than less attractive people. Yeah. We know that there are certain things that are baked in. And so there's a study for this. And then when you looked at the study, a lot of the questions that people have been debating on the internet for years, there were already answers for. Like, for instance, who cheats more? What is a man or a woman more likely to leave in a marriage? These kind of things are actually been data on this that goes all the way back to the 1970s when evolutionary biology turned into, sociobiology turned into evolutionary psychology. So that's essentially what my podcast is about. And the two sort of go hand in hand. I make content specifically on my podcast for my clients. And it's worked out really well. Like I said before, we gain about 60, 70 new clients per month. And right now we're at 2,200. So it's been a great labor